Outside Rondo. He dishes it to Collison. Cousins with a screen on Rubio. Collison with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Kept alive by Sacramento.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
Now here's Collison. There's the screen. Down low. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from Koufos. Minnesota's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12.
Hey, watch Ricky, watch Ricky.
The drive by Rubio, and he finishes nicely on the layup. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Rondo passes to Caspi. Here's Cousins. Rubio with the rebound. Minnesota leading by 14. Inside, Wiggins. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Wiggins has got 23 points.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Here's Cousins. Last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
It's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
Sacramento making some changes. Quincy Aces checked in for Koufos. Gay comes in for Caspi. And it's Bellinelli in for Rajon Rondo. And the second free throw, good. Minnesota calls timeout.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kev. Well, during that last break, I heard Flip Saunders addressing his team. He laid one thing out there for them, saying, now is the time to eliminate any chance of a mistake. We've got a good lead. Don't take any unnecessary risks or commit a silly foul. Smart basketball from here on out.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Rubio outside. And Cousins comes over to help. Here's Towns, and that one is hammered home.
How about the excitement right now that he's playing the game with? I love it.
He capped that dunk off with some serious hang time on the rim.
I tell you what, he just couldn't contain himself on that one.
Collison kicks to AC. Dishes to Cousins. And that one comes up a bit short.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And Towns gets it to go.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
And that one's good, Cousins.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
And Rubio kicks to Garnett, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
The Kings trail by 19. Outside Collison. Gay drives in. Excellent D there from Garnett.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
And it's Martin missing.
Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
And he'll be the first to tell you, Greg, that's one he should have knocked down.
And for 3, Collison can't get it to go. And Minnesota will come the other way. Left side, Martin. And he can't bank that one in. The Kings have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. The drive by Gay. Soft touch off the glass. Gay's got 28. Timberwolves leading by 17. Doubled by Collison. Here's Towns. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Even double team. He had the vision to see the open man.
Here's Collison. He kicks to Bellinelli. They set the pick. Inside, Towns with the steal. And now Martin pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Ricky Rubio, Clark, one of the most highly anticipated international players in recent memory to come into the NBA.
Yeah, he's got an awful lot of flash and substance to his game, and after much haggling and negotiating, he was finally allowed to join the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2011.
The drive by Collison. Looking to end the run. Puts up the baby hook. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Ricky Rubio picks one up.
And back to Rubio, with the pressure of all that fanfare marking his arrival, he really focused in and hit the ground running. He was named Western Conference Rookie of the Month, first month of the season, and he finished second to Kyrie Irving for Rookie of the Year.
Minnesota making a switch here. Pekovic is checked in. Good on both.
You know, talking about Rubio, he re-upped for a huge contract extension last season. Despite some injury and shooting woes, he got $56 million over 4 years. Well, that's a bunch of cheese for a guy that's still a bit of a question mark.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Collison with it. Kicks it to Bellinelli.
And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing on offense. It used to be more about finding matchups to exploit. Now it is all about opening up great looks by spreading the floor.
Gay drives in. The baseline J off the mark.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
And with great spacing in the NBA, you need great shooting. More than ever, shooting and spacing, Clark, are at a premium in the NBA for teams.
Yeah, well, it starts with point guards being able to break down defenses and get into the lane to create open shots. You want to be able to create space for the point guards to drive, so you need shooters on the wings.
Free throw drops for Garnett. And guys, KG is so loved and has given so much to the area of Minneapolis, St. Paul, the state of Minnesota. He really, Clark, views it as his home.
And Kevin, you started with him there in Minnesota.
Yes.
When he got underway in the league. Fans love having him there and involved with the franchise again for sure.
A platoon swap here for Sacramento. Both free throws good from Kevin Garnett.
And, you know, for Garnett, after his playing days are over, I got to believe he's going to be looking to take some ownership in this Wolves organization. He is a beloved figure here in Minneapolis.
And And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
And if KG did become a shareholder in the Wolves, it would be wild. I mean, could you imagine how intimidating contract negotiations would be with him sitting across the table?
Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in, and count it. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
This is what this team is all about right here. They're forcing their way inside and having a lot of success. That's their identity. They're a pounded inside team, and that's what they're showing us.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. Minnesota also making some changes. Wiggins is checked in for Zhang. Martin comes in for Muhammad. And Ricky Rubio is subbed in for Jones.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
Here's Bellinelli, covered by Martin. Shot clock at 5. Pulls it up. Again, the miss by the Kings. Greg, as you said, the NBA schedule was something that needed change. Players were getting worn out with all the back-to-back games, Clark. You've been through it and you know firsthand.
And it's not just the back-to-back games, Kevin. It's the 4 games in 5 nights or the 7 in 10 days. The league office knows the NBA is at their best when teams are rested. And kudos to the league for doing something about it.
Cousins dishes to Bellinelli. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
Rubio with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Rubio the pass to Bielitsa. Count the bucket. Bielitsa's got 11 in the second half.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Rondo kicks to Cousins. Lets it go from the wing. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And last season, an injury-filled one for Nikola Pekovic. Played only 31 games before he was sidelined. Clark with an Achilles injury.
Yeah, and you know, he wasn't even playing quite up to par before the injury, Kevin. After shooting well over 50% in each of his first 4 seasons, he dropped to under 43% last year.
And on the subject of Pekovic, last season was another difficult step back for him physically. At some point, one wonders if his whole career becomes in jeopardy. It just takes so much effort to keep coming back.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Caspi comes in for Quincy Acey. And it's Butler in for Bellinelli.
And guys, I, for one, can relate to what Pekovic is going through. I mean, it's not easy as a big man to get those injuries to your legs. I mean, you're carrying a lot of weight and force around. I mean, let's hope Nikola finds a little more luck going forward as far as the injuries.
The drive by Gay. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Gay's got 4 points this quarter.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
Levine dishes to Pekovic. And he banks in the layup.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
There's a screen. It's Gay with the drive. He used that pick to perfection. Gay's got 12 points here in the second half.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Here's Levine. He's covered by Rondo. Pekovic inside. Kufis is there. And again, it's Nikola Pekovic.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting fairly well in the fourth, around 48%. Rondo kicks to Gay. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. 34 points for Gay.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second play.
And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it.
Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Sacramento. The Timberwolves also with the sub. Jones checked in for Nikola Pekovic. And that one's good. And that's now 7 points for Rajon Rondo.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Timberwolves.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, Clark, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
Yeah, it was a team that was really in sync. They trusted each other and took the right shots.
And for the year now, they'll be tallying their 16th win.
And it's always nice to get win number 1 against an opponent you'll be seeing a total of 4 times over the course of the year. They really set the tone tonight for their season series against the Kings.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Wiggins. You look at the energy he brought on both ends of the floor, and it's easy to see why he was a difference maker.
Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley, Clark Kellogg, we saw in the postseason play with the mask with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing injured.
And so Levine nails both of them. Well, the main problem last year for the Kings, Greg, their defense. Just couldn't slow teams down on their end of the court, and it cost them.
Yeah, listen, a lot of it had to do with the defensive problems overall. They were pretty much in the bottom 10 of every major defensive category and dead last in blocks as well.
They get the rebound. So it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Andrew Wiggins. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
There's no denying Wiggins has almost superhuman athletic ability. But he's not just raw talent, he's got the polish too. And in case you didn't know this little fun fact, he was the first Canadian to win Rookie of the Year. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, for the Clippers, they were undefeated against this squad last season, going 3-0. We'll see if they can continue that dominance. One thing the Timberwolves were sorely lacking last year was a post presence inside. They were able to get the top pick in the draft and chose Karl Anthony Towns. How much better is their offense with him?
Well, hopefully if he comes out and is very explosive offensively, teams will be forced to help down low on their perimeter players. He can kick it out. What I like about Towns, he's mobile, and he still has the ability to get out and run. He's a young buck, fresh legs, a lot of speed.
You know what? Adding him to the team, fresh leg, I like that.
Fresh legs.
I just caught that. I got that. You know what? Anyway. There would be an offensive inside out now with Wiggins and him. And at first, I was a little apprehensive. And then with Kevin Garnett still there, being a great tutor, there will be a lot more fluidness to their offensive talent.
Fluidness.
3 big words in one sentence. You got a dictionary over there or something?
Fluidity,
Man.
fluidness.
You must have went to the University of North Carolina or
Yes.
something.
I actually did.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Timberwolves come into town for this one. It's the NBA, and it's live right here on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. They continue to spread the load, trying to compensate Clark for the injured Wesley Johnson.
Kevin, he went down a few weeks back, but the good news, the flip side of that coin is that they're expecting him back shortly.
Yeah, the wait is almost over. Finally, he's going to be able to lace him up again.
Boys, nice night.
So the Clippers win the tip. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Rubio and Martin are their backcourt. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Garnett. And it's Towns in at the 5. Pierce wide open. He fires. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
Yeah, because of Blake Griffin, the Clippers certainly known for their big dunks, he and DeAndre Jordan. But they can hurt you from long range, too. A lot of three-point threats on this team. And last year, they were 3rd in the league in three-point percentage.
And here is Los Angeles now. It's a 3-point game. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And if you look at the box score from that game, guys, the first thing you'll notice is how many turnovers they forced.
And one thing the box score doesn't show us is how many points came as a direct result of those turnovers. But I think it was a huge factor.
Minnesota shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
And so Martin nails both of them.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Paul with the ball. Here's Griffin. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Garnett. He had 16 points in the win against the Kings in Sacramento.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
The Minnesota Timberwolves come into this one after the win against the Kings.
And how about the accuracy that was on display from three-point range in that game? They were lethal.
Yeah, splashing those threes as they did really allowed them to continuously deflate that crowd and keep them at bay. Boy, that was a nice road win for them, no doubt.
Here's Paul after the made shot from Ricky Rubio. Here's Griffin. Garnett with the block. They get it back. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top. But instead, he'll shoot free throws. Ricky Rubio picks one up.
And you know what? Saved what was likely to be a dunk.
And, you know, under the circumstances, Greg, that's a good foul. You just can't let him have that throwdown.
The first one falls. And, guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues in interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
Both free throws good from Griffin.
And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
Martin with the bucket.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Clippers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. On up the court. Excellent D there from Pierce.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
Martin, the pass to Garnett. You know what? So Los Angeles will take it the other way. This is their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Yeah, and they came out with a W every time they played this squad last year. A stark contrast drawn between the conference's haves and have-nots.
Guys, they deserve a lot of credit for not losing focus and letting one slip away. They came to play every time, and I expect that'll be the case tonight. And guys, as we all know, Kevin Garnett is one of the very best power forwards ever to play the game. I mean, was passed by Tim Duncan last year for total rebounds by active players. Still an amazing statistic among many for KG, a future Hall of Famer.
And for KG, the last 3 seasons have obviously been very, very tough. His injuries and declining athleticism have led to down numbers really across the board.
Yeah, I mean, his role now has transformed. He's more of a clubhouse leader, a mentor to the up-and-comers, an extra coach, if you will, in game and on the sideline.
Both free throws good from Kevin Garnett.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
From about 16, good on the shot. 6 for Blake Griffin.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Rubio against Paul. Rubio dishes to Towns. Martin for 3, and he gets it to go. Martin's got 8.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Here's Rubio. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
And the shot is good.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
The shot. And again, it's Minnesota converting. Here is Paul. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. The feed to Crawford. Beyond the arc. A second chance effort. And Pierce with the lay-in. Pierce has got 5 now.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Shots good by Garnett.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
Here's Paul. Crawford outside. Paul outside. Clock at 6. Crawford outside. Lets it go with a 3. They get it again. Jordan. Excellent D there from Garnett.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage. And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down. He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Timberwolves leading by 3. And Rubio kicks to Martin. The quick look, no good that time.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Here's Pierce. And Kevin Martin pulls it down. And that one goes out of bounds, last touched by Pierce.
And a moment now to check out some of the numbers for Martin. 2nd in field goal percentage. And, of course, a knockdown shooter from the perimeter, ranking 3rd in field goal percentage from beyond.
And you mentioned it. I mean, one of the top shooters in the league, quick trigger with just a little better footwork. Boy, I tell you what, he could even move higher up the rankings.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Redick is checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Kevin Garnett. Back to Rubio. In the corner, it's Wiggins. 5 to shoot. Martin for 3. The shot no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it.
In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do. That happened.
Yeah.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. This guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
You know what? They just are in a funk right now offensively. A good time to maybe come up with a play and give them a good look.
Well, most coaches, usually have a go-to speech or tactic that they can use when they need it most. So we'll see if that's the case here.
Smith checked in for Jamal Crawford. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Minnesota. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Kevin Martin. Here's Redick, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Some changes for Minnesota. Zach LaVine comes in for Wiggins, and Jones subbed in for Ricky Rubio.
Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
And that one's good. Pekovic. And the Timberwolves lead by 4.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
Paul outside. Right side, Griffin. All sorts of time. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 8 points for Blake Griffin. As you said, for the Clippers, 37 wins last year against the rest of the West. That total was the 2nd most against the rest of the West among any team in the league. Trailed only Golden State in that regard.
And you know what? They played the top West teams tough as well. One of only 3 Western Conference teams to be over 500 against the rest of the playoff teams from the West.
Paul against Jones. Jordan the screen. The 17-footer was shot by Redick, no good.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far. Pass
to Jones. to the right side. Launches a three, and Muhammad the bucket on the assist from Jones. And it's an 8-point Timberwolves lead.
There's 6 points on consecutive three balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
No doubt the defense had better play a little tighter.
Paul passes to Redick. Back to Paul. Hits the front of the rim and out.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And Muhammad has it in the corner. And that one is hammered home.
And really, these teams don't even look like they belong on the same court today.
I don't think they do, based on what we've seen, a double-digit lead, and we're still in the first. Ouch. That's painful.
LA's gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Paul goes in. That's good.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Jones kicks to Bielitsa. 9 feet out. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Bielitsa's got his first 2 points. Clippers trail by 10. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Thinking about Doc Rivers being a leader, he was like that on the floor, Clark, as well. You know that. You went against him.
A leader and a winner, no doubt about it. And there have been a lot of coaches that came from his old Celtics team, and of all of them, perhaps the least surprising is Doc Rivers for the reasons we just mentioned, leader and coach on the floor.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Blake Griffin. Paul with the ball, now defended by Muhammad. From deep three-point range, can't get it to go. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Levine kicks to Muhammad. Pass to Levine. Releases. Misses off the right iron.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Muhammad dishes to Levine. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. And now it's a 12-point Timberwolves lead. Here's Paul. The 17-footer. Good. Paul's got 6.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Levine passes to Pekovic. On the wing, Jones. Defended by Paul. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Minnesota.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
And that one falls for Jones. The Timberwolves knew that last season would be one not to worry about winning with Coach Flip Saunders. It was more about growing as a team, and you know him. That's one of his specialties.
Yeah, Flip, Kevin's a great teacher, and so to have this young group and show the improvement they did over the course of the season was important. And really, it's mostly just about getting guys used to a system and preparing for what could be a really bright future.
Got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
And Redick kicks to Paul. And he hits the jump shot. Paul's got it back down to within single digits for Los Angeles. Minnesota's gone 4 of 6 from long range here early on. Jones against Paul. Jones dishes to Muhammad. Jang, the pass to Bialys, and he gets it to go. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
They haven't been able to stifle him defensively here.
No, to the contrary. They haven't provided much resistance at all. And in this game, you've got to play both ends of the floor.
The drive by Paul. Off the left rim and out.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Outside, Jones. And Muhammad has it in the corner. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Clippers shooting 43% since taking the floor today. Smith kicks to Stevenson. Back to Smith from deep. That's good. Smith's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Jones kicks to Levine. From outside the arc.
Minnesota foul.
Paul. No good. Offense, the order of the day. And a chance to hear from DeAndre Jordan, who talks about the inspiration he drew from him.
God told me, you know, you should be Defensive Player of the Year, not just for one time, but for multiple years. And I could tell that he wasn't trying to hype me up or just telling me that because I was his player. He really meant it. Once you have that confidence from somebody like that, you can only play well.
A strong case can be made that Jordan played like the Defensive Player of the Year, Clark, this past season. And the fact that he didn't win it looks like it'll keep him motivated.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I love the passion he plays with defensively. It seems like a burning fire in him. And Doc has stoked that fire with desire and inspiration. You've got to love how the passion to play defense burns in DeAndre.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
It's just been a long-range battle for them and one that they're winning right now.
Yeah, sharp shooting from deep, a big part of why they're up.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Martin and Wiggins out on the perimeter. Gorgui Dieng is out there with Towns, and it's Rubio in at the 1. And he gets it to go.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Clippers trail by 12. Now here's Paul. Crawford outside. And the 3 off target.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
You look at Gorgui Dieng and his development in the league out of Louisville. What a big jump for him last season.
And that's a great point. That first year, you could tell the game was a little too fast, and he was a bit overwhelmed, but started to get more and more minutes throughout the season and really blossomed with the extra opportunity.
A three-pointer, Wiggins. Rebound by the Clippers. Jordan's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Knocked loose, stolen by Rubio. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Wiggins with the ball and finished off by Martin.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense. And Dieng last season doubled his points per game, got enough rebounds where he could be a double-double player every night in the near future. You know, he just hasn't looked right to me, a bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Lance Stevenson. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for the Timberwolves. Clippers trail by 13.
And Dieng isn't a young player by any means, but he has learned how to fill a niche on a team quickly. Just offers good numbers and intangibles in a lot of places on the stat sheet.
Shot clock at 6. Paul kicks to Griffin. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And for all of the improvements he's made to his game, one wonders why Blake Griffin isn't a better shot blocker. I mean, he clearly has the motor and the athleticism, but for some reason over his first 5 seasons, he's averaged only a half a block per game.
The free throw drops for Griffin. And regarding Griffin's low block shot numbers, for some guys, they simply lack a certain feel, Clark, for blocking shots.
Yeah, you know, there's something about the aptitude for shot blocking that sometimes is understated. Just because you're a high flyer in the front court doesn't mean you're going to block a lot of shots.
Both free throws good from Griffin.
And the Clippers not known for being an outside shooting team, but they take a large amount of deep mid-range 2s as well as their fair share of 3s.
Rubio dishes to Wiggins. Pekovic with a screen. Here's Rubio. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And the Timberwolves lead by 13. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. For the Clippers, you think of Lob City and it's all dunks. But the reality is, Clark, as Greg was just talking about, that just isn't the case.
It really isn't. I mean, they also led the league in pull-up shots attempted by a wide margin, but 24 pull-up Jays a game.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, guys, in the NBA, you learn things by doing them in game-time action. And Andrew Wiggins had plenty of time to learn on the job. He was second in the league in minutes played last season, only behind James Harden.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Ball outside. Griffin passes to Pierce. And yes, sir, that one drops. Pierce has got 10 points. Looking over the numbers again, Greg, Wiggins logged a ton of minutes as a rookie, over 36 minutes a game, Clark. That led all rookies in the NBA.
And how about leading everybody in the league in minutes played after the All-Star break, Kevin? Almost 40 minutes a game is what he averaged after the All-Star break.
Rubio against Pierce. Crawford outside. And Griffin slams it in.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback.
Yeah, and if you look at it, had they been converting those second chances all along instead of waiting until now, who knows?
Clippers trail by 11. Paul kicks to Crawford. And the pass to Jordan. Paul, no one around him. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. And that's 11 points for Chris Paul.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Rubio dishes to Towns from 12 feet out. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Griffin's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Paul passes to Jordan. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And Rubio kicks to Martin. Nailed from three-point land. Martin's got 21.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Down low. It's deflected. Now Rubio. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Kings in Sacramento.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor.
And that one's good. And now an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he's on the money, that's no doubt. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Andre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round, and he's made good on it, though.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Garnett's checked in. Minnesota leading by 9. Rubio outside. Dishes it to Pekovic. Feeds it to Martin. Just 5 to shoot. And Rubio kicks to Martin. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got his 5th assist in this one.
And watching DeAndre Jordan, he's really refined his game over the years without losing the athleticism. He's that rubbery, long-limbed athlete that transcends age. And so far, I've seen 0 drop-off in his leaping ability and quickness, but no question he's improved his skills and IQ.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Martin dishes to Rubio. And again, it's Minnesota.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb.
Crawford kicks to Griffin. Fires at the elbow. Cannot hit. Excellent D there from Garnett.
And talking about DeAndre Jordan, he is displaying an energy level that many scouts wondered if he had. Let's face it, he underachieved a bit in his 1 year in college. He knows that. But when it's come time to do it at the highest level, DeAndre has risen to the occasion.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure. Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch. Now this is just getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this up.
Can't remember the last time they missed one. Remarkable shooting here.
Paul kicks to Crawford. Pekovic with the rebound. Pekovic has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Stolen by Pierce. Crawford against Martin. It's Crawford with the drive. Crawford missing again.
And another miss. Whew. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Rubio with it. And Crawford picks him up defensively. And it's Wiggins missing. Clippers trail by 16. Crawford kicks to Griffin. Andrew Wiggins pulls it in. Wiggins has got 4 rebounds now tonight. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Kicks it out to Garnett. At the elbow, Martin. The 11-footer, and he hits the jump shot. Martin's got 26.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
Picked by Griffin. Crawford drives in. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And that's now 6 points for Jamal Crawford.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Here's Garnett, and again it's Minnesota converting.
And don't be surprised if we see a lot more of that to come. I mean, when he gets going like this, it is not easy to slow him down.
Paul passes to Griffin. It's good, and it's his 6th make against 11 attempts.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Minnesota leading by 16. It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right. Minnesota's gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Here's Martin, and there's another one for the Timberwolves.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Inside, Crawford. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Crawford's got 8.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Here's Garnett. Got it from 16 feet. He's got 14.
Make it 10 of their last 12 points coming off assists.
You have to love the ball movement.
Jordan sets the pick for Crawford. Nice work there coming off the screen.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Wiggins dishes to Martin. 1:10 left in the first half of the game. He kicks it to Pekovic. 6 on the shot clock, and Wiggins throws it down.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Crawford kicks to Griffin, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Yeah, he went for a little extra on that one.
Well, he usually doesn't finish soft, obviously. You know, he can when necessary, sure, but not that time.
Not when you can throw it down like that.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Ball passes to Griffin. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. He's had 4 chances at the line, made them all.
76% on the season from the foul line.
You know, there's been some improvement in his free throw shooting this year. His percentage has taken a little jump compared to last season.
And he can't get the first one. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Smith comes in for Paul Pierce. And Stevenson's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Chris Paul. No good on the second free throw. Minnesota leading by 20. To the middle, 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
It's hard to believe he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
Enjoy seeing that kind of bounce out of that spot on the floor.
And here's Redick. He had 16 points in the win against New Orleans. Kicks to Griffin. Puts up the baby hook, and that one's good. Griffin's got 20 points.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Timberwolves ahead, delivering the blowout. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
So, Kevin, I've got Doc Rivers. And, Doc, what was happening for the team in that first half, and how do you approach the rest of this game?
I thought we missed some great shots in the first quarter. You can see it affecting us. We've been struggling offensively, so it's natural. But we're a defensive team, and we got to beat that in the third quarter.
Doc, appreciate it. Kevin, back.